Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. If you haven't read the title already, this is going to be a story time with Miguel. Or, yeah, with Miguel, because I'm by myself. Clearly, I'm by myself. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this is some story times. I'm going to tell you some, not secrets, some stories and things that happened to me. Crazy stuff has happened to me in the past. I am talking too fast, I'm tired. Yes, yeah, there's some story times that I'm about to tell you. There's stories with George, there's stories with my cousins, because I have so many cousins. So, yeah, dramatic freaking intro I ever done. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how many stories I'm going to tell. Why did I do air? I don't know how many stories I'm going to tell you. I'm just gonna whatever pops in my head and whatever I remember, I'm going to tell you guys. Because some of the stories that I've been through, or some of the things that I've been through is kind of dramatic, and I got into trouble a lot. So yeah. Okay. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, the first story I'm about to tell you is the first story I'm about to tell you is with George. Of course, it's with George. Yes. It was a normal day in California because I used to live in California in this apartment. We lived together. My mom, or George's mom, and my mom. We used to live together and like live in an apartment. It was wild. We were kids. We were yelling. We were screaming. We were breaking stuff. Normal kid stuff, right? Yeah. So it was a normal night. I remember it was nighttime. I was on the couch or I was playing with something. I don't know. But I was on the couch and George comes into the room and says, Miguel. I'm like, what is it? And he says, let's go. I'm like, go where? And he says, let's go to the store or wherever to eat. Because next to our apartment was a restaurant. I don't remember the restaurant. I think it was a Denny's. I don't know. Whatever I think of, I'll put up a screen or whatever. I think it was a Denny's. So I agreed with George. I'm like, oh, actually, no. I didn't agree with George the first few times he asked, because I'm like, no, George, it's already night. And I'm scared I'm going to get in trouble. And he's like, nah, come on, let's go. So George was the rebel back then. He was like the rebel that made me do stuff. I got in trouble a lot. But whatever. Yeah. He convinced me to go. I went with him. And we walked out of our apartment complex at night to a Denny's or whatever. At night, we walked down the street. We went past the street, like main road. We went through the main road and we went to a Denny's. So, of course, as kids, we don't have any money because we don't carry cash on us because we're kids. So we walk into the restaurant of the Denny's. I'm going to call it Denny's. We walk into the restaurant of the Denny's and we sit down in the counter and we ask for food. And the waitress is like,
do you have money? Where are your parents?
And at that point, I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get caught. She's gonna tell my mom. I'm like, and George is like trying to calm me down, saying like, Miguel, calm down, it's gonna be fine. So, yes, we asked for drinks, like 2 sodas, like our little voices, can we have some drinks? I'm like, oh yeah. She actually gave us sodas. I'm gonna ask George, but yeah, the waitress actually did give us sodas, which was pretty fun because as kids, if we ask something for adults, they're probably not gonna give us to us because we're just little kids trying to get free food. So yeah, we got sodas and we said thank you and we just walked out of the Denny's like nothing, and we were just walking down the street sipping our sodas and sorry for the cuts. Yeah, and we were just walking down the street, and I'm like, oh, George, I can't believe we got away with it. That's what I said to George. While we're walking down with our sodas, happy and all that stuff, that we got free drinks, and I see headlights come up behind me, like bright lights coming up behind me. I'm like, okay, and I turn around. It's my mom. It's my mom driving to home. She came back from work, and she's coming home while she sees me and George walking down the street at night with sodas, and I was scared out of my mind. I'm like, I didn't know what to do at that point, and George's like, oh my god. So we ran back to the apartment, And then my mom, yes, she eventually came home and she got me in trouble. And I think George got away with it, which is straight up BS. But yeah, I got in trouble. I don't think George got in trouble. I'll ask him, but he probably didn't get in trouble by his mom because his mom is cool. So yeah. Second story. Now, we weren't in the bad part of the neighborhood in the complex. It was like an apartment complex where there's like a bunch of apartments and like a bunch of people. And me and George were friends with all of the apartment people, kids. The people from the apartment kids, we're all friends with them. We would play together. We would play hide and seek. We would go out and like basically roam the whole apartment complex by ourselves as kids, which is kind of dangerous because we're just kids. We're just running around while cars like going through and like predators or whatever. But I'm not gonna mention predators because I never had that experience personally. But like, no. Okay. Second story I'm about to tell you is yes again with George. Okay. This is how it started. Okay. Second story. Yes, I was in. Okay, me and George were in the playroom. We had a playroom. There was a lot of kids and cousins and brothers and sisters. Yeah, we were in our playroom and the window was open and we see across the street that our neighbors is having a yard sale. So me and George come up with the plan to make fake money. Oh my god, as kids we thought this was a good idea. We thought we were going to get away with it. No, we didn't. But okay, listen. Okay, so yes, we grab out papers, we grab our crayons, our green crayons, and we start writing on like pieces of paper and we cut into like dollars. And me and George walk over across the street to the yard sale and the lady is like, oh, hello. And two little kids trying to like buy something. We're like being sneaky and all that stuff, trying to get some stuff. Like look around like, ooh, what's that? What's that? You know? And the lady eventually caught our eye and sees two little kids and she comes up to us
and says, oh, what do you want?
And George like picks up an item. I don't know what item. I don't know. I think it was a mini doll, a plush doll. I think I wanted it or he wanted it. I don't know, but it was a mini doll. I remember it was a mini doll. Okay, and we were trying to get that doll, and we give her the fake money, our excuse of a money, and she said,
I can't accept that. I'm like,
and me and George George was arguing with the lady like, oh no, here, it's money. So eventually she's like, no,
no, I don't accept money like that.
So we go home, we go back to our apartment, we were like, what are we going to do? And George has a bright idea to steal it. Now, I don't condone stealing. Stealing is bad and yada yada. Don't steal. So George thought of the bright idea of stealing the thing and we go to the yard sale while the lady wasn't looking. I'm so sorry. I feel so sorry for that lady, but we were kids. Kids steal. Whatever. Yeah. So we go to the yard sale. We get the mini doll. It was a mini doll. It was like this big. I don't know. Yeah, we went across the street. We grabbed it and we ran back to our apartment. And we were like, oh my god, that was so amazing. But I don't know if we kept the doll or gave it back. We probably kept it. Yeah, that was that story. We never got caught by our moms. I don't think we did. So that was something. Now, we were kids, so I highly do not steal. Okay, when you're a kid or younger or a teenager or an adult, just don't steal in general. Or you get in trouble and go to jail and all that stuff, and I don't want to deal with that. So like, it's fine. We were kids. We do stupid stuff like that. It's fine. Okay, so this next story, it was again with George. We were young. I don't know what ages we were in the last two stories, but we were kind of young. We were like around, I would say 6 or 7. No, that's too young. 10, maybe 10. I don't know. Okay, so we were in our front yard of our apartment complex, and our neighbor, she had, I'm not going to say her name, I'm just going to say she. She had a big, rusty glass cabinet. I think you hold wine or like cups in it, like wine glasses and stuff like that. I'll put a picture if I find it. Yeah, it was right in front of our yard. It was like hanging like this. No, not hanging, but it was standing like this. It was a big tall thing. And me and George are curious minds. Are like, oh, let's play around with it and like push it and all that stuff. That's a bad idea. But of course, our parents weren't there at the time. I don't know if they were inside. Oh yeah, they were inside. They were having Little Caesars. Little Caesars was so good. You don't understand. Okay. Yeah, they were inside having Little Caesars while me and George were in the front, like playing around with the giant wine glass thing. Okay, yeah. George had a bright idea. I had the bright idea to like sway it back and forth. I don't know if it was me or him. I don't know how it fell. It fell on top of George. So George, the wine glass holder thing, falls on George. I think it falls on him or it falls on his foot or something. I don't know. But he ends up with a cut of glass, a glass shard stuck in his foot or somewhere. I don't know. But he got cut on the foot or somewhere down there. I don't know. Yeah, but it was a dramatic thing that happened to George. He's fine now. He's still alive. Clearly, yeah, he's alive. That was a really dumb thing that we did. We were bored. I feel like we were bored and rebellious, but So we run it back and so when that happened, I ran so fast into the apartment and I went to George's mom and my mom and they were eating pizza and I'm like, George is bleeding, George is bleeding, George is bleeding. And then they quickly run out and see George on the floor crying with blood everywhere. I'm gonna want to go too detailed because YouTube with its guidelines and yeah. So the neighbor, she comes out and hears the ruckus and she sees her glass thing on the floor and a kid yelling and screaming in agony. And I don't think we pressed charges because it's our fault. It's our fault. And I don't think we pressed charges. I don't know if she pressed charges. I don't know what happened. But George got fixed up. I don't think we went to the hospital. We probably did went to the hospital, but my memory is all over the place. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't know how long this video is going to be, but this is going to be the last story that I'm about to tell you. And it's actually really scary. This next story is the last story I'm about to say. It was a giant crash that happened, but I'm just gonna tell you that little bit. Okay, so I was in my grandpa's room and he was playing on the Super Nintendo right here. He was playing on the Super Nintendo and I was like wondering, because I was a kid and I liked Super Nintendo stuff. I don't have Super Nintendo stuff right here. Oh, one up. Yeah. Yeah, that's Super Nintendo stuff. He was playing his Super Nintendo, and I was interested because he was playing, and I wanted to play, and we were sharing back and forth, and I hear a giant crashing noise, and it shook everything. Like, in our backyard, so this is our backyard, and there's like an alleyway behind the backyard. So there's an alleyway where cars like pass through and park and all that stuff. And we hear a giant crashing noise and it shook the whole house. And I quickly run out of the apartment and my neighbor, I'm gonna call her she because I don't want to say any names. She runs out of her apartment and she says, call 911, call 911. What happened? Call 911. And I quickly run into the alleyway to see what happens because I'm a curious little kid. I'm like, what the heck happened? So I see that there's a car upside down, glass everywhere. I don't know if there's a person inside. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know the details of this. Yeah, so there was a big crash in the alleyway. I don't know if somebody was in there. I just remember a car being flipped upside down and glass everywhere. And yeah, that was like a big dramatic thing that happened. I don't know if anybody survived or someone died. I don't know. What happened. It was like an earthquake that happened in their apartment. But yes, that was the last video. Or no, that was the last story I'm about to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you like this video. Like and subscribe and do all that. George's link up on screen. Even though he wasn't physically here, I like to put his YouTube up on screen. So thank you so much for watching the video. And like and subscribe. And yeah, goodbye. It was dramatic. Goodbye.